What up everybody, it's your boy Duplays here, back with some more YouTube reactions to you guys. So today we're checking out GTA 6 on Nintendo Switch 2. Might be the first real impossible port. Let's get into it.
Is Grand Theft Auto 6 on Nintendo Switch 2 even possible?
Bruh.
Grand Theft Auto 6 has been the most hyped game in history for years now.
For this? No. Very funny. You know, you're a real asshole.
And with the Nintendo Switch 2 finally here, the big question...
That's a really creative meme there. I don't know why... Whoops, I hit the mic. I don't know why I've never had the thought to make memes like that. And then how do they like make the image follow the movement of the hand in the video? I always wonder how they do those things, but anyway, let's get back on topic.
Is, could Rockstar actually bring GTA 6 to the Nintendo Switch 2? In today's video, I'm breaking down the rumors, the realistic possibilities, why Rockstar should bring it to the Switch 2, why they might not, and whether this port even makes sense. Is GTA 6 coming to the Switch 2, or is this whole idea just straight copium? So let's start with some context. Grand Theft Auto 5 dropped in 2013, and it's still making bank more than a decade later. Rockstar basically printed money with that game across 3 console generations.
Yep.
Then we waited forever for GTA 6, and when the first trailer hit,
I've said this in previous videos and I'm gonna say it again. I remember that night I came home from work, December 2023. I don't remember the exact day, but obviously it's the date is on the GTA trailer 1 time. It's when it dropped. I think it was the 23rd of December. I don't remember, but December 2023. That was almost 3 years ago, but it's so insane, like the time gap between trailer 1 and trailer 2. I think it was like a year plus. A year and a half we didn't hear anything until trailer 2 again. I was at work when I saw trailer 2 on my lunch break. It was insane. Like, I couldn't believe I was actually witnessing this.
Vice City, Lucia, and Jason, the absolute insane level of detail. It looks like the biggest open world game ever made. But here's the thing, Rockstar games are massive. We're talking next generation visuals, huge maps, insane NPC AI, and online features that need serious horsepower. You could probably even argue that GTA 6 is gonna be the first real current generation game. Now the Nintendo Switch 2 enters the chat. After seeing what it did with the Switch 2 editions of Cyberpunk 2077 and Assassin's Creed Shadows,
I was just thinking of that game.
Games and many others ran way better than anyone expected them to, especially in handheld mode. So with that in mind, the internet is wondering if it could handle something as ambitious as GTA 6.
Alright, you know how we have impossible ports on Switch? Hold on, give me a quick second. You know how we have impossible ports on like Switch? Like The Witcher 3, I think that was the biggest example of an impossible port. Doom was definitely another big one, and Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal. I'm very impressed by No Man's Sky on Switch 2, Switch 1. What other games were there? Oh, the Wolfenstein, Colossus, and then Youngblood. There was another shooter one that was really impressive graphically for what it was. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but anywho. But GTA 6 is a different type of beast. Like, The Witcher 3 was still a 2015 game. It had been in development for years at that point, because it released in 2015 for PS4 and Xbox One. But obviously the game has been in development for years. Let me actually Google real quick how long was Witcher 3 in development. Alright, 3.5 years. So around 2011, that was it. The last 2 years, 2011 was the last 2 years of the 7th generation of consoles, Xbox 360 and PS3. So the game is built using 2011 technology. It's probably even older than that with the engines and all of that stuff. So it's still somewhat scalable to the Switch. Because I remember reading an article where the devs were talking about if it were possible to put that on the PS3, and they said no, it simply just didn't have enough memory. The memory in particular was the main caveat, the main limiting factor there, really. So don't get me wrong, I'm still impressed that they even got that running on Switch, but I feel like GTA 6 is actually probably kind of impossible, because The Witcher 3, yeah, it has AI, but it's nowhere near as dense as GTA 6. Cyberpunk is very impressive. I'm not surprised that they ported that on there, though, because if it's 10 times more powerful than the original Switch, then that puts it between PS4 Pro and Xbox Series S. So I'm not surprised Cyberpunk is there. I expect that, but it's still very impressive nonetheless. What was the last thing I was gonna say? I'm rambling for a bit here, but GPU wise, maybe they could scale it down, because they can always, reduce the resolution. A lot of those games on Switch, the ports, they ran at 540p or even below that. Because Witcher ran at 540p, and I think it can dynamic scale below that too. And I think Doom is one of them though. But Wolfenstein 2 New Colossus in particular, that one actually went below 360p at times. Well, it dropped to a low of 360p. So I have no doubt they can do optimizations on the graphical end. My main concern is the CPU, because you're simulating a real world with hella NPCs, hella systems running in the background. I do not think the Switch 2 CPU can handle it. I don't.
So let's talk
continue.
pros first, because believe it or not, there actually are some. Why it could actually happen. The Switch 2 is not weak. We've already seen impressive.
Oh, real quick, I hope they prove me wrong. I really do. I really hope they prove me wrong. I mean, they could dial down the amount of NPCs, the amount of AI, because you can turn down those settings even in GTA, population variety, population density. That helps on the CPU end, because the less NPCs there are, the less physics you have to simulate, the less AI code you have to run. So yeah, hopefully, well, more than likely. I hope they prove me wrong.
Ports of
I hope they prove me
games
wrong.
running way better than expected. Rockstar has a history of bringing their big titles to Nintendo platforms. Eventually, think GTA Trilogy and even Red Dead Redemption, which recently got a Switch 2 upgrade. A Switch 2 version of GTA 6 would open up the game to a massive portable audience. Millions of people who want that full GTA experience no matter where they are. And Nintendobros, let's be honest, we would eat it up. The Switch 2 is the fastest selling console of all time. The old Nintendo Switch is the best selling console of all time in the United States, and worldwide it's second only to the PlayStation 2. So with that in mind,
Did he really just say Gay Station 2? I know I'm not
Switch 2
hearing
is
things.
outpacing the Nintendo Switch even over a year after launch, which is unfathomable.
What kind of power? Unfathomable. It's without fathom.
And a well-done port of GTA 6 could move serious units over the years. I would say it probably could even become the best-selling version if it happens. Plus, Rockstar loves money. If the Switch 2 proves it can handle a trimmed but still fun version, maybe with some dynamic resolution, smart
Not maybe, definitely gonna have that
scaling,
for
and
sure.
optimizations like we saw in those other big ports.
However,
Let's be real, Grand Theft Auto 6 is built from the ground up for high-end hardware. The scale is gonna be ridiculous. You can expect super dense cities, advanced physics, plus that Rockstar attention to detail that makes everything feel alive. The Nintendo Switch 2. Now, while it is a big upgrade from the old Switch, it's not a Gay Station 5. We probably would have to see cuts, and lots of them. Massively lower fidelity textures, massively reduced draw distances, and massively simplified effects. Would it be worth it?
I don't know.
Rockstar is notoriously perfectionist. They don't rush things, as we can see from the 13-year wait time between GTA 5 and GTA 6. And they've been pretty quiet about multi-platform plans beyond the big consoles and PC. A rushed or heavily compromised Nintendo Switch 2 port could damage the reputation of both the game and the console if it doesn't live up to the hype. And let's not forget the
I'm sure they're gonna live up to the hype. And the PS5 is basically a GTA 6 machine. It's the only real reason I'm in a rush to get one before November arrives. I plan to get one by like late October. I really hope there's no supply issues. I'll buy one secondhand if I have to. And then probably sell it and get a new one later. If that's what I have to do, I'll do it. Anything to get the content out, which is kind of ironic because I've been slacking and haven't posted in 2 weeks. I think it's almost 3 now. But anyway, let's continue.
Creating a proper port takes real time and money. So now let's get into what Rockstar and Take-Two have actually said. Officially, Rockstar and Take-Two have been pretty tight-lipped about the Switch 2. GTA 6 has confirmed releases only on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S for November 19th. No mention of Nintendo at all in their announcements. Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick has talked about focusing on core console audiences for big release.
We want to be wherever the consumer is, and we've supported Switch 2. He said, you can tell from what we are doing and what we're not doing that our primary console platforms remain Sony and Microsoft. Yeah, obviously, those are the two big boys. That goes without saying. Where it pertains to Switch ports, they usually come months or up to even a year after the main releases on the main consoles. Usually because the Switch version, at least historically with the first Switch I'm holding right now, and also that's already happening with the Switch 2. Yeah, they need time to refine it for the less powerful hardware. So comparatively, Switch 2 is still in the same situation the Switch 1 is, except it's just not that dire a hardware gap like last time, but it's still a relatively big hardware gap. Now it's like, I guess, double or triple CPU and GPU performance on both, well, at least in docked mode for the GPU. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
And they've got more.
Again, let me just pause real quick. Where it pertains to the GPU, I know the Switch 2 is 1.7 teraflops in handheld mode, and I think it's 4.0 or 3 points. No, it's 3 point something in docked mode, and the PS5 is 10.28. Xbox Series S is 12. So yeah, that's a pretty wide margin. But anyway,
Sony's, so the big boys clearly got priority. That said, reliable leakers like Nate the Hate have reported that Rockstar has been doing technical tests and porting efforts to see if they could get GTA 6 running on Switch 2 hardware. But tests don't always turn into final releases, but it shows at least some interest and effort did go on behind the scenes. No direct confirmation or denial from Rockstar themselves yet, they're playing it pretty close to the chest like always. So, will it happen or not? Here's my honest take. It's possible, but a day and date release is not gonna be happening. We might see it later, maybe a year or two after the main releases, similar to how big third-party titles eventually trickle down. Rockstar has surprised us before. Okay, so keep that in mind. That Red Dead Redemption Switch 2 upgrade came out of nowhere. If they can make it run respectably at 30 frames per second in handheld with decent enough visuals, it could be a winner for the Nintendobros. But if the tech just is not there without turning Vice City into Mortal Kombat 1, they might skip it entirely or do a cloud version, which comes with its own headaches. I don't recommend that. In fact, I would not buy that.
I don't want that.
Switch 2 has already shown it can punch above its weight. Those Cyberpunk and Assassin's Creed ports are proof, but GTA 6 is gonna be on another level entirely. It's less about
a different
whether the
beast,
hardware
yeah,
can do it, and more about whether Rockstar wants to invest the time to make it great instead of just good enough. So what do you think? Is GTA 6 coming to Switch 2, or do you think it'll stay on the gay consoles? Are you team do it or team screw it? Drop your predictions down below, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'm Switchplayed done.
Alright, let's see what those comments are saying. I need it to happen. Please, Rockstar, put GTA 6 on the Switch 2. We'll have to see how GTA 6 on the Series S runs and looks before we can determine if a Switch 2 port is possible, to be honest. Yeah, that's the closest point of comparison that we have. If GTA 6 runs on the Series S without any problems, then Rockstar may just port over that version of GTA 6 to the Switch 2, but first they will tweak it a little bit. Series S is saving Switch 2. God damn, yes it is. Microsoft W. I should say rare Microsoft W. We can totally get GTA 6, 5. Look at 5 running on the Xbox, on the 360. My mind filled in Xbox there. And PS3, totally underpowered for a game that's that big and that good, along with being very detailed. The Switch 2 in handheld mode is at least 10 times more powerful than the Switch 2 in handheld mode is at least 10 times more powerful just in handheld mode, along with way more RAM. Yeah, the RAM isn't the issue at all. In fact, I'm pretty sure the Switch 2 has more RAM than the Series S. RAM ain't the issue at all. We also have DLSS, and that makes the Switch 2 somewhere between the Xbox Series S and PS5, and the Series S and GTA 6. We will see this ported over, and the Switch 2 is just getting started. It will sell like crazy, blah, 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 blah. Switch 2 is my last hope. Please, Rockstar. Good luck, guys. Laughing emoji, bro. Switch 2 can't even get Marvel Rivals. I heard that's confirmed that they're working on it, so yeah. Hopefully it does come out on Switch 2, even if it's months later. Yeah, it's definitely going to be months later. No, the power of the Switch 2 is not equal to Series S. It's not. It's really not. Alright, one more. Let me think. There is no tech reason it can't. Ports of Dragon's Dogma 2 and Warhammer Space Marines 2 and Monster Hunter Wilds prove it. Those are CPU taxing games, and moreover, there's a Series S version so it could run it. Yeah, but like he said in the video, GTA is a different beast. So, yeah. Alright, well guys, that was it. That was my reaction to is a Switch 2 port of GTA 6 possible? Hope y'all enjoyed. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, turn on post notifications, all of that good stuff. Follow my socials, they'll be in the description. And with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Goodbye.